everyone. Welcome back to the Players Lounge. Today we are at Dick's House of Sport, a proud sponsor of the University of Tennessee Athletics.
And the Lady Vols.
Today we are bringing Tennessee softball to the Players Lounge with Charli Orsini. I'm so happy you're here, Charli. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent.
We have so much to get into, especially I'm sure people who know you or don't know you, you can already hear the accent. So if you don't mind explaining where you're from, what year you are in school, you can even throw in your major for us.
Hi everyone, my name's Charli Orsini. I'm a junior in the softball field, however, I'm a senior in the classroom. I'm majoring in audiology and speech pathology, and I'm a pitcher on the Tennessee softball team.
So I did mention it. This is your show. I've worked with the Players Lounge. I've gotten to have a couple shows, do a bunch of different things, but we're introducing you and this becoming your show to talk about Tennessee softball this year. You guys are on fire, ranked #1 in the country. We can get into all those things, but you mentioned speech pathology and audiology. What do you want to do in the future?
So I want to hopefully just open up my own practitioner. And I want to help people. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to work, fingers crossed, hopefully with young children, people with disabilities, but I want to be a speech pathologist.
But you also said you were a junior, eligibility-wise, so you have a whole nother year, you're graduating early. How did that even work, transitioning and getting ahead in school when you're from Australia, just completely different school programs in general?
So, no surprise, but I'm actually a nerd. I love school. I just love school, and I wanted to come in and I wanted a challenge for myself. Everyone told me, oh, it's a 4-year degree. Watch me, I'm doing it in 3. I'm one of the youngest in my class. Everyone's all seniors, and I'm in the classroom I'm just a baby. But yeah, so I'm just a nerd, simple as that.
So proud of you, getting it done, so then you'll be able to get your master's in during your last year, when you have your last year of eligibility. Okay, let's go back to the very beginning in Australia. How long have you played softball? Did it run in your family? And then we'll get into why Tennessee, but when did softball start for you?
I think I started playing softball when I was maybe 7 or 8. I played a lot of sports growing up in Australia. Playing sport, everyone does it.
What sports did you play?
I did soccer, track and field, netball. I played a season of cricket. I played a season of Oz tag, which is football but with tags.
Okay.
I did surf lifesaving. that was
You did.
I did,
and
I almost
saved my life. Actually,
I did save your life. Yes.
We had to do this thing called the program, which is military boot camp training before season.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought I could swim. Definitely can't swim. Definitely can stay afloat for a couple minutes maybe. And Charli literally helped me and saved my life. So I credit her a lot. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Had to pause you there. My next question, netball. You said netball. What's netball?
So it's like basketball, but you can't run. The court's divided into 3 sections, depending on what position you are, is what section you can go in. But it's like basketball, but you can't run.
Okay, interesting.
It's fun.
Interesting. But softball, stole your heart.
Yeah.
And then did your mom or dad play, who introduced you to that sport to help you fall in love with it? Or was it just the sport helped you fall in love?
It was my mom. She played for Australia growing up, and it's funny, when I play back in Australia, the umpires that umpired her are oh my gosh, it's your mom's still playing. Apparently we look really similar when we play.
Yeah.
So my mom is the reason why I play softball today.
And was she a pitcher too?
She was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you did mention that, the umpiring thing.
Yeah.
So your family's in Australia, you're here. Did your mom come to the States and play college softball as well? Or are you first generation to come to the US and do it?
I'm the first one.
And why did you make that decision? Australia is popular in softball. You could have stayed home, you could have played. Why did you come to Tennessee, and then what made you choose Tennessee as a whole?
So I always knew from a young age, I want to be great. I want to be one of the best there is. And for me, going overseas, that was what was going to take me to the next level. I remember growing up, I would get my iPad taken off me in class because I'd be watching the College World Series in class. So it's just always something I aspired to do. And playing and watching Tennessee on the TV, I just loved everything about it. I loved that we have a platform as female athletes. I love that they play at such a high level. I love the SEC, and I knew Tennessee is where I wanted to be, and I'm here now.
You made me emotional. We do have such a platform.
We do.
With female athletics.
So
there's
lucky.
nowhere else in the country that gives so much to their female athletes, to the point that we have 2 separate names. We're our own logo, our own identity, and you can't say that about everywhere. You can't really say that about anywhere.
No, I'm so proud to win every day when I put on the Lady Vol.
I'm so proud of you. So with that comes challenges,
Yes.
being so far away from home. And I think having played with you and just being around you, you're such a positive person. And we don't really get to see like the side of you where you're missing home and it's just really hard. You do a really good job of masking it. So what are like just some of the challenges that people playing with you, people watching, like they don't understand that you have to go through by yourself away from home? What is like the biggest challenges for you?
I would say like spending birthdays alone, like having to FaceTime my mom when they sing me happy birthday, waiting till 5 p.m. every day to call my parents. Don't even get me started on the 26-hour travel day to get home. Yep, 17-hour flight.
And it's all over water.
Yeah.
Like you don't even get to see land.
Nope.
Man, you're a tough one. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And did you commit? Like, were you able to come visit and then you fell in love? Like, how did that work out?
My recruiting journey was, I think Megan said, the weirdest experience she's ever had. It was emails, phone calls, Zoom. That was it. The first time I ever met Megan was at the Florida tournament for travel ball.
Okay.
And
that was your senior year of high school, though.
Well, I graduated because school's different in Australia.
Yeah.
But yes, my senior year of high school equivalent.
Okay.
And she was like at my game and it was like the most wholesome moment. I was like, hi, you've seen me on Zoom, I'm Charli. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you.
Aww.
And then I moved into my dorm and that was the first time I ever stepped foot on campus.
And then knowing that you're flying from Australia, the 26-hour trip, and you get to your dorm and you know you're not going to be home in Australia for like 6+ months, almost close to a year at some point, like what is that feeling like? Because when I moved into my dorm, I knew, okay, I'm going home for Christmas, like I'm going home for Thanksgiving, like I'm gonna see my family soon, like I can count the days. Like for you, it's nothing like that. So what is that feeling like when you moved in and you're like, I'm meeting everyone for the first time, I'm in a new country, not just a new state, and I won't be able to go home for a really long time?
It was a little overwhelming, like all new experiences, first time living out of home by myself. First time having to do my washing by myself. Like it was just all new experiences, but I love that I was given that opportunity. In regards to like how did I cope, like I would always just do like countdowns, like okay, it's 31 days until fall break.
Okay.
Or like, so that's what helped. And you know, I have family that lives in Florida, my best friend lives in Alabama, so although the world is a big place, like you can make it smaller if you try.
Oh, that's so sweet. I kind of want to go back a little bit to recruiting. You said all Zoom, all text. So how did you get connected to Tennessee? Did you send your film to a bunch of schools, Tennessee reached back out, or was it just Tennessee? Like, how did you narrow it down to Tennessee without even being able to step into the country for recruiting visits?
So I think because of COVID, everyone taking an extra year and just kind of the uncertainty of like, oh, this girl's from Australia, we can't see her in real life. Like I emailed a lot of schools and it was all like, hey, sorry, no thanks. But Ralph, he said, oh my gosh, I love Australians. And I was like, well, you're sure gonna love me. And we went from there. So although like, I knew I wanted to play at a high level, but I'm so grateful that Ralph responded because Tennessee's my home.
Okay, sticking with talking about Ralph and Karen, obviously Karen's head coach, Ralph's always around mentoring. How have they helped you on your journey being away from home? For me, it was inviting to know I still had like that mom, dad around all the time. How's your relationship with Karen and all of that?
Karen and Ralph have made this whole experience so much easier. Like, hey, Char, what you doing for Easter? We'd love to have you over. Like that just emphasizes like they see me as more of a person and as a player. And for me, having a coach who wants to see their best in their players, not even on the field,
but off,
just
exactly.
off the field. Like they have so much love for every single person, and I'm so grateful. Checking in on me all the time. Karen's office door is always open, and you walk into practice. Hey Char, how'd the test go today? Or hey Char, how's your day been? Like it's just so nice knowing that. Yeah, my parents are so far away, but look what I have right at my front door. So,
and we know we love Ralph and Karen, and they are like so awesome on and off the field, but it also comes with challenges. Like Karen will challenge you to death. So what has it been like, the transition from pitching in Australia to now you're pitching at the highest level? What has that experience been like for you, and then some of the challenges?
I love it. I always wanted to push myself to be the best, most competitive version of myself.
Core value, core value.
But it's very different. Like back home in Australia, it's more like you play with your friends who are not so competitive. You know, they'll pick up a bat once a month, and it's just kind of how you're going, having fun. So I think that I've always played with high intensity, but this is like next level, and just getting used to different coaching styles that I probably haven't grown up with. Very different, as you would know, but I think it's made me grow into a better athlete and a better person. So.
Oh, for sure. You grow so much. I remember Coach Karen getting recruited, like my first time meeting her, or even it could have been my freshman year. She told the team, college is not going to be the best 4 years of your life, like the happiest, most exciting. You're going to grow the most in the 4 years. And I can definitely say that. Like, there's some times where you hit rock bottom and you're so emotional, you're so sad because you're not performing or just you're away from home. And then there's some of the best highs where you're winning, you're going to the World Series. And it truly is a time where you grow and you learn so much about yourself.
100%.
What is one thing that you've learned about yourself since you've left home and come to Tennessee to play?
Definitely resilience. I would say now I'm a very resilient person. Like I've had a lot of hardships in my life. And I think that 3 years ago, Charli would have been in a completely different state. You know, not going to get too into it because, you know, where could I start? But I'm definitely a lot more resilient, and I am more confident, which I love talking, which is kind of funny. I am way more independent, and I'm a better person.
Yeah. So independent, you're driving now.
Oh yeah.
Which, how is the process from being in a different country, having to get your license here, and do you guys drive on the same side of the road?
No.
Okay, so it's all new. You basically had to relearn how to drive.
100%.
How did that process happen for you?
So I've had my car for maybe like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Mom, if you're listening, just close the ears. I've almost crashed like 5 times. You know why? Because when I turn the other way. So I was coming out of Target, living my best life, like, ooh, sales. I wanted to turn right. I turned that way. Like
Oh, Char. Yeah, Mom, don't listen to this.
Yeah, it was bad. But I've gotten better.
Absolutely. Okay, keeping it on the light side, I have looked up some Australian slang and some Australian foods, and I want to go through this list and see, is it real Australian slang or is it just like American made, like we think that's what Australians think of. And then we'll kind of get into some popular Australian foods just to keep it light. This is funny because the first word on here, I'm like, how do I even pronounce it? Arvo?
Arvo.
What's Arvo?
Afternoon.
So you'd be like, good
so
Arvo?
Like, it's like, hey, let's go to the park this Arvo. When's practice this Arvo?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that is Australian slang. Got it. Okay, what about Macca's?
Macca's?
Yes.
Is McDonald's.
Okay,
so
two
like,
for two?
Like, let's go get a slushy Macca's run. So like when you first get your license, if you don't go for a Macca's run, did you really get your license?
Is McDonald's the same here as it is in Australia?
It's like kind of the same thing, but it's different.
What's better?
Australian's probably a little more healthy, which is crazy because it's Macca's. But
what about Servo?
Servo is the gas station.
And what's the court, like what is Servo?
Service station.
Oh.
Servo.
Do you pump your own gas in Australia or does someone do it for you?
We pump our own gas.
Okay.
And you don't pay at the pump, you pay inside.
You have to go inside.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's changed since I've been there, but
yeah. I never go inside. I just love to do it right outside.
Yeah, I had to learn how to like put the card in. I was like, whoa.
Okay, this one's kind of self-explanatory, but I want to know if it's actually slang because I say it here, but brekkie.
Brekkie, breakfast.
Do you guys say, like, that's not something that's...
We shorten everything.
Everything, okay. What about fair dinkum?
Fair dinkum?
Yes.
Is like, yeah, right, fair dinkum.
Wait, say it again.
Fair dinkum.
Fair dinkum. Like, good.
Yeah, like
real?
Fair dinkum, yeah.
Okay, okay. You always say this, so I know it's real, but mate.
Mate.
Just friend.
Yeah, friend, mate.
Sometimes I can feel like your accent like dims down and then you'll say mate or something and I'm like, never mind.
I just have to get back to my roots.
Yes, exactly. When your family comes into town for like their 2-week span, I always notice that your accent after they leave like increases for sure. Okay, what about a yarn? Yarn.
Yarn.
Y-A-R-N.
I'm gonna.
In quotes, it says, we had a good yarn.
It's gonna be either like I never have said this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fake Australian.
Fake Australian slang. This one, I know what it means, but heaps. Do you guys say heaps?
Like, heaps.
Okay.
It's just
Chuck
a
a
lot.
sickie.
Chuck a sickie. Just not coming to work. Be sick.
Yes. But are you genuinely sick or it's a fake?
Like, it could be both.
Okay. The last one I have on here for slang, which would just be y'all say holiday instead of vacations. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Okay. So there was only one on this list that I researched.
Yeah.
And it was yarn, right?
I'm gonna guess like a nap, or I don't even know.
On here it says we had a good yarn. Like, I'm thinking like a casual conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe. That was slang, but we're gonna get into a few foods, and I wanna know if I haven't heard of like any of these, and I wanna see how well you know your Australian foods
Okay.
before we wrap it up for the day. First one I have personally tried, and I love everything about Australian culture. You guys are awesome, but Vegemite, not my favorite.
Oh.
How would you describe Vegemite to people who don't know what it is?
Vegemite, definitely an acquired taste. It's very good when you're sick, or you've maybe like had a big night the night before. Salty, but it's really good with loads of butter and a light, thin spread of Vegemite.
She brought Vegemite to practice once, and it genuinely looks like it's a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but salty.
It's so good.
If you're thinking of it as salty, I think it's fine, but I was convinced it was sweet.
No.
So-
People, that's your error. Like, that's the mistake. You guys make it like it's a Nutella sandwich.
Yes, exactly.
No.
It looks just like Nutella. Okay, what about Tim Tams?
Tim Tams are like a little chocolate-covered biscuit. Not like a biscuit for breakfast, like a little cookie.
Okay.
And it's heaven on earth. That's what I bribe people with.
Okay, so what we're saying is we need Mom to send a package of Australian foods, so on
Yes.
your show, we can have taste tests.
Exactly.
Okay, hear that, Mom. What about a Lamingtons?
A Lamington is
Yes.
like a cake with chocolate around it, like a little thin layer of chocolate and coconut on top.
Ooh, I think I could get down
And
with
sometimes it has like jelly in it.
that. Ooh, interesting. Okay, what about fairy bread?
You've tried fairy bread.
Is it sprinkles?
Yes.
Yes.
Butter, bread, butter, sprinkles. If your party didn't have fairy bread growing up,
You didn't have a party.
it was lame.
Okay,
Yeah.
noted for your birthday next year.
Exactly.
Okay, what about a sausage sizzle?
A sausage sizzle
Yes.
is bread with a sausage, a beef sausage.
Okay.
Some sauce on top.
What's the sauce? Like ketchup?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
okay.
barbecue sauce.
Okay, so it's a hot dog,
No.
but it's sausage.
It's different sausage. Like,
Okay.
you cannot get them in America.
Oh,
so, like,
okay.
I love having a sausage sizzle when I go home.
Yeah.
Because it's just yum.
Okay. A couple more. A Chico roll.
A Chico roll. My mom and dad love a Chico roll. I can't tell you what's in it because
Okay.
it's like a mystery.
Okay.
But it's deep fried and you get it at a fish and chip shop.
Anything deep fried is just gonna be good anyways. Okay, last one. Beetroot on burgers.
Beetroot on burgers?
Yes, what is that?
You don't know what beetroot is?
No.
It's like a vegetable. It's the red thing.
Like an onion?
No.
Oh, a beet. A beet or
Yeah, we call it beetroot.
you call it beetroot.
Yeah, and it's just on a
okay.
burger.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong and I just didn't know that's what the full name is. But from our conversation, you're not faking the Australian.
I'm
You
actually
know
real.
Actually everything.
It is real.
We need a care package sent with Australian foods.
Yes.
But Charli, I'm so excited for you to take over Tennessee softball on the Players Lounge. I'm so excited for who you're gonna have on. Just a little bit of a teaser. You're gonna see pitchers, hitters, everything throughout this series. Like we mentioned earlier, we are at Dick's House of Sport, and they're a proud sponsor of Tennessee Athletics and
And the Lady Vols.
yes, so come check out Dick's House of Sport, and then stay tuned for all of the guests that Charli will have on her show, and just stay tuned.